Wud Up? So UFC 199 is in a couple of days, and I wanted to go ahead and give my picks on this card. I'm just gonna do the main card. The first fight on the main card is lightweight division. It's Dustin Poirier. I want to say it is. I could have said that wrong. I don't know. Some of these I mess up. Versus Bobby Green, and in this fight, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with Bobby Green in this card on this one. Bobby Green lost his last fight, but he won quite a few fights in a row before that. I feel like he's gonna come into this fight feeling like he needs to prove himself and get back on the right track. Dustin has won his last three fights. You know, he lost to Conor McGregor, which was his last loss. But yeah, I'm going to go with Bobby Green on that fight. The next one is the middleweight division, Dan Henderson versus Hector Lombard. And in this one, you know, it's kind of a toss-up for me because when you look at it, you know that Dan Henderson has that knockout ability at any given time. Problem for me is Dan Henderson has been absolutely horrible in his last, 8 fights. He's lost majority of those fights. And then when you look at Hector Lombard, he failed a test for steroids, and then he came out and he lost his next fight. It's really a challenging fight to call because ultimately Hector Lombard is, you know, I felt that the guy was starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And then he goes out and gets caught for steroids and all that. But at the end of the day, in this one, I'm going to go ahead and go with Hector Lombard over Dan Henderson just because I feel like Dan Henderson really shouldn't be fighting anymore, period. The next fight is Max Holloway versus Ricardo Lamas. And in this one, I'm going to go with Max Holloway. I feel like he's put together a string of fights together that's pretty impressive. I mean, he's won, I think, it's like 7 or 8 in a row. He his last fight he got a unanimous decision over Jeremy Stevens, and he's looked fairly impressive. In this fight's actually at the featherweight division. Ricardo Lamas is, you know, he's also won his last fight against Diego Sanchez, but he lost to Chad Melendez before that. And I'm just gonna go with Max Holloway on this one. The next fight is the bantamweight division. It's for the title, Dominic Cruz versus Uriah Faber, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take Dominic Cruz. And as much as I do like Uriah Faber, and I would love to see Uriah Faber finally get a win in a title fight in the UFC, this guy just is going against people who are really good fighters. And it's sad because I ultimately feel like if Uriah Faber loses this one, it's done. I don't think he'll get another title shot. I could be wrong. The UFC does crazy shit. But I'm going to go with Dominic Cruz in this fight. And then in the middleweight division, you got Luke Rockhold, who's going against Michael Bisping, who replaced Chris Weidman, which was supposed to be the rematch. And this will actually be part 2 of these two guys fighting. And I know the popular pick in this one would be Luke Rockhold. And the reason why I'm going to go with Michael Bisping is because I feel like Michael Bisping knows that this is it. This is the only chance he's got, and this is going to be the last chance he's going to get. At his age, I just don't see him getting another shot after this for the title if he loses. If he loses, obviously Rockhold would have the title still, and Rockhold will probably have the title for a little while longer after that. Who knows how long it will take for him to get to go against Chris Weidman again. But yeah, those are my picks for this card. I'm going with Bobby Green. I'm going with Hector Lombard. I'm going with Max Holloway. I'm going with Dominic Cruz. And I'm going with Michael Bisping. I'm not going to give you how the fights end or anything like that because, you know, it's just too unpredictable in the UFC. But yeah, if you have any other thoughts on it or anything, go ahead and leave the comments below. I'll holla at you later. Peace.